Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Spiritual Gypsy and my channel is Spiritual Gypsy Tarot. This is a general reading that I felt called to do today. This is the Significator card. We have one of these oracle cards, two of these, and then these three tarot cards. Pardon me. I will pull more if I feel drawn to. I welcome you if you are joining me for the first time, and welcoming you back if you are rejoining me. And let's get into it. I'm going to proof this card because some of these cards in this deck are not YouTube appropriate. Okay, this one's okay. It's the Fool card, and it has the symbol for Uranus. It has butterflies and this flower-like crown and a rainbow and some flowers here. We also have wholeness with number 4. Pretty oranges and reds in that card. We have shapeshifter with fluidity. I'm just kind of checking the cards before I put them out. And raven with magic. So crows or ravens could be significant. I know I personally love both, but I see crows more often in my area. Let's see how I can do this. Alright, I think you can see most of the card. Okay, I'm going to pull the tarot and then we'll get into the message. I like to have the full picture. We have Sagittarius. We have the 5 of air, which is the equivalent to 5 of swords in a traditional deck, and 3 of fire, which is the 3 of wands in a traditional deck. I do want to note that in this shapeshifter card, we have multiple different animals and elements of nature. Alright, so give me a moment here. I'm going to channel with a deep breath, which you can join me in if you would like. So there is this completion energy, this wholeness. Could be a void feeling. There could have been an ego death, and so you're on a new beginning because the void is after a strong ego death. And this card talks about how the raven brought the stars and the nighttime into the sky. That's what that card talks about. It also has connections because of the magic here. It might be your natural magic. It might be your talent, especially with this shapeshifter and this fluidity. And sometimes just being able to heal and transform and transcend is in itself its own kind of magic. The Sagittarius is often linked with, I'm getting like this crown chakra color here, like the understanding, the deep understanding, because Chiron is about your wound in your birth chart. So there could be a healing, a shifting in that category, or that wound could now be a sense of power and magic. And then with this 5 of swords, or 5 of air, it's like a change, like a breath, a wind of change, right? So altogether it's like a change, a shape shifting of this energy, right? His magic is energy, power is energy. Also with the 3 of wands, that traditionally looks like a new path. You know, you have 2 on the one side and 1 on the other, like they're going to start a new journey, which is the confirmation with the Fool card. So there's this wholeness it's in a chakra or a trauma that's healed, an ego death, some sort of completion that you transformed in yourself to link to this new beginning. It has a new, deeper understanding. It could also just be the lower chakras have been healed and you're now working from a place of your higher chakras and your higher self. because of shape shifting there. I'm in those energies, but we will pull some more tarot and see what else comes with the message. I do have to preview this deck, like I said, because some of them aren't appropriate. That's a lot of cards. We have actually just 4. Okay. So I'm going to preview them, but just so you can see there are 4 before I show them to the camera, just in case for the rules. We have 5 of joy, 5 of feathers, which is a double synchronicity because the feathers in this deck is the swords in the air here. So a change in the air. I'm going to put that on top of it so we can kind of see it's connected there. So the change in mindset or the change in thoughts could be positive, could be out of a place of joy and gratitude. Also with this green, could be out of a place of unconditional love with your heart chakra leading the way. Could be both the crown chakra and the heart chakra working together. Could be seeing the joy in the moment, because the moment is the magic, where the magic happens. I heard this song today called Future Trippin'. It's by one of my favorite inspirational artists, Carly Pearl, I think her name is. I am really bad at names. But it talks about living in the moment, no longer worrying about the past or the future, because your life starts now. So that's a synchronicity there. We have the 3 of fire. Look, double synchronicity here. So 5 and 3 could be very significant. 8, because they're added together for numerology. The 3 of fire. In this deck, it talks about spontaneity, like the passion with creativity being sparked. And notice how like you have the colors of that red and the orange and the yellow. For some of you, this could be trauma linked to the sacral chakra, which is guilt and shame. Often when you feel like you have to feel a certain way or act a certain way or do certain things to maintain the love and affection and the life that you have. It happens a lot in moms. Not that it doesn't happen to people who aren't moms, but a lot in moms, because they have the guilt. They have to be superwoman, you know. They have to be able to keep the house clean, the kids fed, healthy, routines, and keep themselves together. And there's not enough hours in the day sometimes for Wonder Woman, okay? It also could be the solar plexus. That could be confidence in who you are. That also is linked to like feeling like you have to do things or be of action and service. And that is the wound I often associate with the solar plexus. Kind of like if you watch Encanto, would be the sister that's very strong. Luisa. She thinks her worth is tied to what she does. So it could be a guilt and a shame or action-based trauma that's healed. And there is that purple there with the crown chakra too. It could just be believing that you were worthy of unconditional love and joy, regardless of what you did, what you felt, what you accomplished, what you said. We have the High Priestess, which is connected with the moon. Also, the reason I really love this deck is it talks about the High Priestess in indigenous cultures would communicate with spirit and then give the spiritual guidance to the shaman to heal. That's what this tarot book says. And so this could be very in tune again with that crown chakra, the energy. The moon could be significant with that full moon that happened yesterday. The moon is so brilliant in the fact that it holds trauma for us and it reflects it back to us when we are ready to move past it. And so this could be a confirmation that you're moving past the trauma. It could be a confirmation that you're moving closer to spirit, closer to your higher self, however that resonates. And then we have the 2 of Cups with Two of Lotus. It's interesting that I said 2 of Cups because it makes me think of the 2 of Cups with the 2 hearts here. But it's the 2 of Lotus with empathy. And to me, this talks about the heart chakra of yourself, which is the green, and the heart chakra for others, that unconditional agape love. I'm so sorry I said agave. I have a mom brain. But it's almost that it could be like a sweet nectar with agave, because nothing is by chance. But that sweet love, that unconditional love with no expectations of other people, that's that pink. And then the green is the heart chakra within yourself. So the unconditional love of the universe and the unconditional love within you are meeting and creating this infinite expanse of love energy radiating out. And lotuses, they clear up the water, they clear up the swamp. So if it's emotional based trauma that you're healed from, it's clearing up. Your energy is now being able to clear up swamps around you just from your energy. We have 2 2s here too, so 2, 3, and 5. Crown chakra, so it could be a stronger crown chakra, could be a change in thought process, it could be a deeper understanding of yourself or your healing process. It's a re-ignition of creativity and passion that you didn't once have. And it's also a sense of empathy for yourself and others. It's that mirror energy, that reflection, like the moon reflects, right? And we are reflections of one another. So there's beyond the veil energy also. You might be able to see more of beyond the veil, and you might be closer than ever to your higher self in your self converging. More of that confirmation for that void after an ego death. I think I am going to pull one more oracle card I'm going to pull from one more oracle deck before I close. I say one card, but you never know what Spirit has to say, and Spirit is in charge. So, okay, we have Arnika, I probably said that wrong, with Teacher and 33. There's a wolf, and this is the symbol for Saturn, or Capricorn, Saturn, one of the two. And wolves in indigenous culture were seen as medicine or healing. So it could be your higher self is learning how to heal. It could be that you're at the point where you can now teach something that you've learned and how to heal. I also think the stars, you might want to look at your birth chart, and your transitions might be significant right now. There's also concoction mixing here. So you could be getting back to health. It could be you are switching to more nature-based products, something that might resonate with someone. And I feel drawn to one more card. That's why I never like to say one, but there's one more wanting to come out. This guy. Okay. We have Rue with protection and number 4, and you have that affinity symbol again. You have Pluto and the sun. So Pluto is transformation. It's almost that shape-shifting energy, that magical energy, and the sun is highlighting that joy that you're going to feel. So if you haven't already had this progress, it's going to be coming. If you have had this progress, know that it's okay to feel the void that you're feeling. You don't have to feel like you have to do. You don't have to feel guilty for not doing anything right now. You're waiting on the universe to give you that next spark of spontaneity, that next spark of inspiration. If you are past the void, you're going to experience changes in your thoughts and your joy and the understanding that you have. So that is what I'm seeing. Thank you for joining me. If you liked the video, please like, share, comment, any of the above. Dislike it if you didn't. Leave a positive, constructive comment if you would like. And I am grateful for you being here.